Right, here's the second Duels of Planeswalkers 2012 video, and this time I'm just going to go straight to a custom game and show you what Archenemy is about, because I haven't went through and played the campaign to that level, so I'm just going to do a custom game and quickly show you. Right, I'm not sure. So in a custom game you can, well now you can sort of, I would say I show you 10 decks. You can see the Planeswalkers, which kind of theme the decks, which is not quite the same thing. And I'm still limited to my first 3 decks. This time I'm going to play Garruk, I'll play with Chandra, and I think I'll play with Sorin, and I have to play against Tezzeret, so the Metalcraft mechanic, I can show you that. So as I say, this is 3-on-1, with 2 AI and me against Tezzeret as the Archenemy. So the board looks slightly different, because you're trying to put 4 decks in one location. It's a bit of a squeeze. Do I want to keep this deck? Let's see. One brief thing. I've got these cards which sort of have these shimmering colours. This is part of the sort of special edition, or the foils unlock, depending on how you go about buying the game. There's nothing special beyond the fact the cards look slightly shiny. Right, so part of the Archenemy is that they get these big, huge cards at the beginning of each turn, called schemes, and they do different things. So here, he draws 2 extra cards, and his artifacts cost 2 less. No, that's not a good thing for, well, it's a good thing for Tezzeret to have, it's a bad thing for us, because most of Tezzeret's creatures are artifacts, so he gets cards for a lot cheaper. Like, normally this Ethereum Sculptor is 1 and 1 blue, but it's obviously 2 less, so it's just the blue. And then that also makes artifacts cost 1 less, so he can now cast artifacts for 3 less mana. So it doesn't look like he's got any cards. Right, I'll play my forest. So we each play our 1 mana. I don't have any cards to cast. Chandra does. She is using... Actually, let's go find. I should probably... This is running really slow. So yeah, this is a spell. This is a sorcery. There's 2 different types of spells. So sorceries and instant. Sorceries you can only cast on your turn. Instant you can cast whenever you want. So Chandra just casts Flame Slash, deal 4 damage to the target creature, and that's a spell, which is I think the first time we've seen one in the game. So I also have a spell. No, I lied. I don't have a spell. There are other spells in hand. I'll show you them as they come up. Right, again, another scheme. So either the person who's chosen sacrifices 2 creatures, or my friends sacrifice 1 each. Well, I don't have any creatures, so I'm quite happy to sacrifice 2 of my non-existent creatures. Another Ethereum Sculptor. No, sorry. Is now 1 Ethereum Sculptor, so his artifact spells cost 1 less. But again, doesn't look like he's got anything, so... Let's do Forest... Garruk's Companion, or Garruk. And that little symbol there is trampled. What trampled means is, if you blocked with, say, well, his Ethereum Sculptor, which is a 1-2, the Ethereum Sculptor would take the first 2 points of damage, but then the 1 would still go through onto Tezzeret. And that is another sorcery, so it deals 2 damage to the target creature, and Sorin's going to gain 2 life here. Now Sorin's up to 22. Well, that's another thing about the Archenemy. Aside from the scheme deck, they do start with 40 hit points. Oh, not this one. So, basically, Tezzeret gets 2 turns in a row. Now, that is potentially dead. That is scary, even though he's got no creatures out at the moment, because you're sort of limited in Magic by how much mana you got down, and saying you can only put down 1 land per turn, then getting a second turn in a row increases the speed at which you can pull out your big guys. Like, if we just started off with infinite mana, I could pull out this 6-4 straight away. I could have pulled out, I think it's a 5-3 I've also got. So getting an extra turn to pull an extra mana is quite scary. Especially when he's paying 1 less for each of his artifacts. Although I'm still surprised he only has his Ethereum Sculptor there. Right, again, he's tapped, so he can't defend. Even if he could defend, I'd be quite happy to trample right over that guy. Instead, we're just to do some damage. Aha, now I want to show you this. So, this is a 3-1, however this has this Bloodthirst keyword. It means if any of our opponents, so in this particular case Tezzeret, took damage this turn, then you get to put a number of counters equal to the Bloodthirst value onto the creature. So it's a 3-1 at the moment, but when it comes to the battlefield, it becomes a 4-2. Because we did damage to Tezzeret, so it gets Bloodthirst built in. And what the heck was that? Ah, Sizzle, 3 damage each opponent. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you cards when they're getting cast if they're interesting. So that card gives Tezzeret 2 land, or 2 mana. Although they do come in tapped, so he doesn't get the advantage of it this turn, but he will next turn. So Metalcraft. This keyword basically means as long as you control 3 more artifacts, then you get some bonus. So in this particular case, this 4-4 would become a 6-6. However, thankfully, he only has 2 artifacts at the moment. If he pulls out the 3rd, then that 4-4 will become quite scary. So he's attacking Chandra with her 1-1, which is tapped, so happily do 1 point of damage. Now the game only ends when all 3 of us are killed, however, killing 1 player does pull them onto the game completely, so any of their cards in effect just disappear. I'm playing my Spider, which has reach, although at the moment Tezzeret doesn't have anything, which is flying. Again. No, don't do it, don't do it. Right. Kicker is another word. So basically, if you spend the kicker cost, so at the moment it costs 2 black mana, if you pay this 3rd black mana, then it's kicker, and you can force a player to sacrifice a creature. So that's what this white beam is, that's why I was crackling with big electricity sparks. Yes, let's attack. Oh, no, wait, no, don't attack, sorry. So swing with 4-2 to maybe kill the 4-4, which could become a 6-6. Tezzeret's not going to block. No. Sensible. On Tezzeret's path. I'm quite happy if Tezzeret was destroying all those creatures and leaving himself wide open and we could all wail on. Ignite the Clone Formers. So he gets to basically create a copy of any permanent, that is any card in play. So land, creatures, you haven't seen standard artifacts or enchantments yet, but they also count. Token, you get non-token and token cards. That is a non-token card because it's a card in my hand. That's a token, kind of by merit of this. There's many things to create tokens. Second Rhino. So he's now got 2 artifacts. Just needs a 3rd, and those will both become 6-6. So at the moment there are only 4-4s. I think Soren's probably going to take that. You get an intuition about what the AI is going to do. Like, you may think preventing all damage at the risk of everything else is the best idea, but if you're just sacrificing all your creatures, you've got nothing to play with, then it's a bit pointless. Right, Garruk's Pathfinder basically means, sorry, Path Leader, not Pathfinder. When I play bigger creatures, I get to draw extra cards. Drawing extra cards is a good thing because you get more options available to you. May mean you get more mana in play, which means you can cast more things. More cards is better, generally. More options to play with is always a good thing to have. As anyone who's played Deus Ex will probably know. So there's just creatures coming out, nothing too interesting about any of them. Right, so go for the throw, destroy a target non-artifact creature. So there goes my 4-4 Garruk's Attack Leader, Pathfinder. Another 2 land. So Tezzeret has 8 land, whereas I've got 5. And 5 is the maximum I'm allowed to play. So he's sort of 3 turns ahead when it comes to land. Right, that Metalcraft. He's a 2-2, but when he gets Metalcraft, which means if there's 3 more artifacts, he gets to fly. And now that there's 3 more artifacts, those 4-4s become 6-6s. So, to beat Tezzeret, you kind of want him to have not so many creatures in play. so it's not exactly easy to do. Aha. So, destroy target creature, pretty straightforward, then proliferate. This means anything which has a counter on it, such as this, this 4/2 had a counter on it, it's now got a second counter. Proliferate means you basically add extra counters, where there already are counters. So his 4/2 became more powerful. Right, they're alpha striking, that means attack with everything. I'll go in, I'm not even going to try to work out what they're trying to do. Except for lots of damage and probably kill those creatures. Alright, so... Yep, his artifacts died. I was just blocking to reduce the damage on them. Those kill one another, so you got rid of the biggest vampire that Soren's got. I just died, so I probably should have attacked there. We did 9 damage, we destroyed 2 of his creatures, he's lost his Metalcraft. Yeah. I think we came up with the victors there. Guess time will tell. Right, so he can pay X. X just means whatever number he wants. He's targeting me. He's paid 9, and that puts all of my well, permanents except for land, which cost of 9 or less onto the bottom of the library. So he's emptied my plague field. So I got 7 forests, which is a nice amount. So play that creature for 5, and I've got this instant, so target creature gets +3/+3 till the end of turn. This is very nice when you attack with, say, a 1/1. He blocked a 4/4, and all of a sudden your 1/1 comes a 4/4 and kills him. You know, he wasn't expecting you to kill his really nice meaty creature, but you do. And now I think my friends are just going to finish him off. Indeed. So that's Archenemy. That's 3-on-1 now. Potentially, Tezzeret's maybe not the best archenemy to play against. He's good if he gets going, but he really should have done more in that game. He had a very slow start, and if he didn't have a slow start, then he would have been a lot scarier and yeah, a lot more worrying. So kind of got off lightly in a way. Right, so that's the cards I got. One thing, if you are playing custom games or multiplayer, you will win cards, gain extra cards if you win, but it won't show you. It's only in campaign it shows you the cards, so the only way to work out what you're getting is to go to the deck manager, reset the deck and see what new stuff you've got. Or you just need to memorize what all the things you can win are, because you get them in order. Yes, so sorry, that's Archenemy. Yeah, Tezzeret kind of slow start, so it was a bit easy for me to beat him, even with quote-unquote basic deck with no additional cards. Although I will say, Nicol Bolas is just ridiculous. In fact, Karn at the end of this, he kind of breaks the rules as well. But yeah, that's Archenemy. Now another thing, sorry. In the expansion, there's an expansion for this game which I do not have, but in the expansion for the game, you get to play as the Archenemy. So you are the 1 versus the 3, and that's sort of the big selling point for the expansion. I'm probably not going to get the expansion. I've got it on my 360. I prefer playing on my 360, and until I find out a way to record it from my 360, then you're not going to be able to see that. But I don't think I'll be getting the expansion, but I did just want to tell you what it's about. You get 3 new decks, 4 new cards for each of the present decks, so the initial 10. You get to play as the Archenemy, and there's a very brief 6-battle single-player campaign, which basically just allows you to unlock the 3 new decks and see what the 3 new decks are like playing against them. So yeah, that's my second video about Duel of Planeswalkers. I doubt there'll be a third, but maybe there will. So yeah, thank you for watching.